Lil Brunson Bill. You at the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. My honest opinion about the Saints right now. You don't have to do a lot of thinking. Sean Peyton, he waved the cash around at the players, letting them know basically what's at the end of the tunnel, the type of bonuses. But is that even allowed? Is that even allowed? Especially knowing a man like his is past. That could be taken as a bounty. I expect these dudes to be dirty. I expect them to play dirty. I expect them to do all types of underhanded stuff, man. Ever since Bountygate, I never really trusted nor had faith in Sean Payton's character. For him, he's just not an upstanding dude. You know what I mean? After you do something like that. After you do something like that, how could you even be taken seriously? How could you even be able to coach in the NFL? After you do something like that. That's worse than Tom Brady deflating the balls, man. That's worse than Tom Brady deflating the balls. Seriously, dude. Seriously, a bounty out to hurt athletes who's this is their livelihood? The character of that man is forever flawed. We got to be careful with this guy, with this game, because I think the New Orleans Saints will do anything. They will do anything to win this game. They'll do anything to win this game. I'm telling you, man, we got to play really good football, man. We got to protect Nick Foles. Players need to protect themselves. You know, these guys, the character is flawed. The character is tainted, man. It's flawed and it's tainted, man. I expect a lot of dirty plays on the New Orleans Saints side of the ball. I do. I expect a lot of dirty plays and a lot of dirty plays to not be called. I expect a lot of incidental helmet-to-helmet contact not being called. I just got a feeling that they're going to try to be dirty. I expect a lot of face masks not being called. That happened to us all year. Blatant face masks not being called. Listen, man, it's the playoffs, man. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. Every game in the playoffs, especially in the playoffs, bro. Every game, listen, man, these referees get paid buku amounts of money. Every game should be called even. Every game should be called even, but we know it's not like that. We know it's not like that. I believe they tried to give the game to the Bears. I believe they tried to give the game to the Bears, because now that I'm watching and now that I'm seeing what's really good, what's really going on, I feel like we got that 2-point conversion. I feel like Smallwood broke the plane with that 2-point conversion attempt. I feel like we got it. Now, us not getting that 2-point conversion against the Chicago Bears, what does that do? That leaves the window open for a game-winning field goal. A game-winning field goal. If we get the 2-point conversion, all they could do is tie the game with the field goal. You see what I'm saying? I feel like they tried to make that game go as long as possible. They tried to set it up for the Bears to win, but Parkey some cut, and we end up blocking the kick. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like you can't hold the good man down kind of thing. They're trying to do whatever they can do to hold us down, but I just don't think it's working. I don't think it's working out for them. They're trying. Sean Payton coming in there with $200,000, showing it to the players, that just smells fishy to me, man. That smells fishy to me, man. And I think that needs to be investigated. That needs to be investigated, bro. Seriously. I didn't think about it, or I didn't put 2 and 2 together. You know, shout out to my guy, Jason Wall. You know, he said he had a couple conversations with Philly 500, my man 500, and they were talking. I don't know if this is exactly what they were talking about, but he brought up some good points. He used to be an athlete. And listen, man, we got to protect Nick Foles, man. I believe that the message that I think we need to send with making sure we be physical with these guys, I think they're going to do a lot of extracurricular stuff after the whistle to try to force a penalty on us, because they never, in the NFL for some reason, they never see who starts it. They always see who retaliates, which is complete BS. Michael Bennett got called for that flag against Chicago. Dude was holding on to Michael Bennett crazy long after the play, but Michael Bennett gets flagged. Another BS call, man. BS calls. We got to hold our heads together. We got to keep our wits about ourselves, because I feel like the NFL is trying to set up a matchup. I just feel like you got to think about the money makers at this time in the playoffs. Now, if you call a game straight, the Philadelphia Eagles will beat anybody. If you call a game straight, we'll beat anybody. So we can't make no excuses about where we are, because a lot of games weren't called straight and we lost, and a lot of games were called better and we won. But if you call a game straight, we can beat anybody. Think about the moneymakers in this. Now we're a potential moneymaker as well. We are a potential moneymaker as well. But coming out of the NFC, You got to think about the teams that's left. Think about the teams that's left. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady is a huge moneymaker. They've been trying to sell that all season. They've been trying to sell it all season. Nick Foles versus Tom Brady again, not so good of a moneymaker. I even think Dak Prescott versus Tom Brady is a huge moneymaker with all the Dallas Cowboys fans in the world. You got to think about how these guys are doing business and how they're trying to set up these matchups to create a blockbuster Super Bowl. The Minnesota Vikings wasn't supposed to come to Philly last year. They wasn't supposed to come to Philly, but the miracle happened, and that tipped the turning point. That tipped the scales. That shifted the poles. You can't deny a win. Just like I feel like a small part of me believes that we weren't supposed to beat the Chicago Bears because it's not attractive for the NFL, which is why every week, every analyst is saying that we should be winning these games. We should be doing all this and doing all that. But what we're doing is playing football with heart, which is why we keep beating everybody. We're playing football with heart, and which is why we keep beating everybody. If Cody Parkey don't miss that kick, I think the NFL gets what they want. They get what they want. They get that number one defense advancing and making things look like it's like the Bears or somebody, because the Bears are one of the oldest franchises in the game too, as so we are. But I'm sorry, man. I got to show you guys this. I literally have to do this every time. Every time. It's pretty annoying. This is to get into my home. But hey, I guess you pay for the safety and you pay for the comfortability. You pay for things like that. Just like I believe the Saints are paying for this win. These players are expendable. These players are expendable to Sean Payton. They're expendable to Sean Payton. I'll tell you why. You could dangle some cash in them, and you got to watch out for the guys who barely get snaps who come into this game, because I believe they're in the game simply to make a dirty hit on somebody. Listen, man, once you do something like that, man, your credibility is forever shot. Especially in the playoffs, I expect the dirty players from these dudes, man. So, Sean Payton is the dirtiest coach in the NFL, bro. The dirtiest coach in the NFL. Then right after that is Bill Belichick. Sean Payton is the dirtiest coach in the NFL. The dirtiest coach in the NFL. You got awards for people who could knock people out of the game. That's dirtbaggish, bro. That's dirty, bro. The dirtiest coach in the NFL, and he shouldn't have been allowed to coach again. He shouldn't have been allowed to coach again. That's like a guy who you know has a mental illness, and you're gonna let him buy a rifle. But that's some shit America does too. So hey, this dude Sean Payton should not be able to coach, man. And how is it even fair that this dude is coaching? How is it fair that this dude is coaching? Seriously, man. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It doesn't change my opinion or my thought about the game. As long as the game is called fair, we're gonna beat these dudes, bro. We're gonna beat these dudes. But can we count on the game being called fair with this dude at the helm? Can we count on the game being called fair with this dude at the helm? Seriously. Can we count on the game being called fair with this dude at the helm? You can't count on that, bro. You can't count on it, bro. And then for the owner to know that Sean Payton did something like that and still have the job available for Sean Payton, I think the owner dirty too. Man. All of them dirty. Bro. And we're gonna put the dirt on. We're gonna put the dirt on their box. We're gonna put the dirt on their casket. They dirty, bro. We're gonna put the dirt on their casket, man. We're gonna finish these dudes off, man. 28-21, the Eagles gonna beat these guys, man. I just had to get some more final thoughts out about the thing because it just dawned on me. You bringing cash money into the locker room? That's what you doing? What message are you sending? These are millionaires. They already got money. They already got a bonus for making it to the playoffs. What message are you sending? Is it $200,000 for somebody that can hit Nick Foles in the ribs real hard? What message are you sending? These dudes dirty, man. Filthy, and the filth is on their fingernails, man. And I ain't got no doubt in my mind that we gonna expose these dudes at home. They're gonna get their first loss under the dome. They're gonna get their first loss in the dome and in the playoffs. They're gonna get their first loss. I don't care what nobody say. Nothing's gonna make me feel any different. And for you guys who didn't make the playoffs, you Giants fans, you Falcons fans, I ain't gonna fucking move my car no more. I'm tired of addressing you Giants fans, you Falcons fans. If you're not in the playoffs, bro, save your opinions for David. Save it for David. Save it for David. I don't want to hear nothing that you got to say. You're not in the playoffs, man. You're not in the playoffs. Right now, what you doing is you juicing the opportunity to report on somebody who is in the playoffs. Let me tell you something about Lil Brunson, Bully Brunson. Let me tell you something about me. Since I started my YouTube channel, we've been in the playoffs every year. We still the defending Super Bowl champs. You want me to tell you why we still the defending Super Bowl champs? Because nobody has beat us yet. Nobody else has won the playoffs. We're defending Super Bowl champs. No matter how you cut it, no matter what you say, you cannot take it away from us. So you can go ahead and hate if you want. If your team not in the playoffs, shut the hell up. Go outside and make a video about two flies having sex on the sidewalk. Stop talking about the Eagles. If I hear another content creator say something ill about the Eagles and your team not in the playoffs, I'm going to bite a bone out your ass. I pause. I don't care if you got 1,000 subscribers. I don't care if you got 1 subscriber. You say something bad about the Eagles and I catch wind of it, I'm firing you up. It's Philly football, man. It's Philly football. Defending Super Bowl champs back in the divisional round. Back in the divisional round. It ain't no accident. It ain't no magic waiting to run out. What is Stephen A. Smith talking about? What are these dudes talking about? Magic? Ain't no magic about to run out. If you want some magic, go look for Irvin Johnson. You want some magic, go down to Orlando. We ain't got no magic. We got heart and pride, man. It's Philly, man. Don't say anything about the Eagles. Don't do it. Don't say nothing bad about the defending Super Bowl champs. Don't say nothing crazy about my city. I'm going to fire you up. Point blank period, man.